Good day, beautiful souls, and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Mindset with me, your host, Michelle Green. First of all, I'd like to welcome any new listeners to the podcast. Welcome to the space. I hope you're enjoying the content. And I would also like to mention before I start today's episode that I am so excited to announce that I have an upcoming book, my sophomore publication, and it's being released December the 15th. It'll be available on my website, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of it. So I'm very excited about that. So stay tuned for news about that. Now, today's episode, I want to talk about the healing power of setting boundaries to nurture your personal growth. That's what I want to talk about today. We often hear that personal growth requires stepping out of our comfort zones and pushing our limits. Now, this is true, but personal growth is also about setting boundaries that protect our well-being, nurturing our emotional health, and creating a space needed for positive change. Now, in this episode, I want to explore the significance of setting boundaries in aiding, healing, and personal growth specifically. I will address how to establish boundaries with someone. I will offer real-world examples. I'll provide a list of 5 crucial boundaries for maintaining healthy relationships. And I will even discuss the unique challenge of setting boundaries with narcissistic individuals. Because if you don't have one in your life, you know someone who has one in theirs, I'm sure. All right, so let's start. Setting boundaries is about creating a framework that reflects your values, feelings, and personal space while maintaining healthy connections with others. Here are a couple steps to effectively set some boundaries. Number 1 is identify your boundaries. So the most important and number 1 step is recognize your own limits and what you're comfortable with. Reflect on your own values, emotional needs, and the behaviors that make you uncomfortable. Number 2, communicate clearly. So when setting boundaries, communicate your needs and limits assertively, but with some empathy. Clearly express your feelings and your concerns, and use I statements, such as, I feel overwhelmed when we discuss this topic for extended periods. Number 3, establish consequences. So let people know there are consequences for crossing your boundaries. Be consistent in enforcing these consequences. And here's an example. If this continues, I will need to limit our interactions. Okay? Number 4, stick to your boundaries. Don't just set them and forget them. Set them and stick to them. Once you've set your boundaries, it's essential to maintain them. Be firm and consistent in upholding your limits. Okay? Now, here are a few examples of setting your boundaries. Setting boundaries can manifest in various aspects of life. Okay? So here's work-life balance. If you are overworking or neglecting your own personal life, set boundaries by designating specific times for work, for personal activities, etc. Inform your colleagues and family when you are unavailable, and it should be non-negotiable. Number 2, social media usage. That dreaded social media, huh? Well, if you find excessive social media usage is detrimental, establish a daily limit, right, on your screen time. Turn off notifications between a certain time so that you could kind of give yourself a digital detox, if you will, right? A wireless time, a digital detox. Family relationships. If a family member consistently invades your privacy, personal space, if a family member consistently evades your privacy, communicate your need for space and privacy. For example, you would say something like, I need some time alone, and I need you to please respect that, right? Number 4, romantic relationships. In a romantic relationships, set boundaries about personal space, time for individual hobbies, or discussions on sensitive topics. For instance, I need some time alone, time to recharge, right? Everybody needs their space in a relationship. And then friendships. If a friend is constantly relying on you for support, but offers none in return, express your need for reciprocity. Say something like, I value our friendship, but I need you to listen and support me when I need it. Right? Simple as that. Healthy relationships thrive on boundaries that create mutual respect and understanding. So here are 5 examples essential for nurturing such relationships. Okay, boundary setting examples. Number 1, emotional boundaries. Maintain a distinction between maintain a distinction between your emotions and those of others. You can offer support and empathy, but avoid absorbing someone else's emotional baggage. Very important. Personal space, number 2. Each person needs personal space for self-reflection, relaxation, and personal growth. Respect that need in yourself and respect it in others. Number 3, communicating boundaries. Establish clear lines for acceptable and respectable communication. Avoid any derogatory language or personal attacks when in a disagreement. Very important. Number 4, time management. Remember to allocate time for self-care. So important. For hobbies, for work, for socializing, etc. Because overcommitting can lead to burnout. So set limits on your time because your time is very valuable. And number 5, respect for values. Ensure that your values and boundaries align with those of your partner, your friends, or your family. This compatibility will form the basis for a healthy, respectful relationship. And last but not least, I would like to give you some examples of how to set boundaries with someone who is a narcissist. Setting boundaries with a narcissist can be challenging, as they often resist limits and manipulate situations to their advantage. So when dealing with a narcissist, number 1, be clear and firm. State your boundaries clearly and assertively. And do not leave any room for ambiguity. There we go. My mouth is not working today. Don't leave room for any speculation. Let me put it that way. Be clear and firm with your boundaries. Number 2, Number 2, limit interactions. So with a narcissist, you want to keep interactions as brief and focused as possible. Avoid engaging in their games or their manipulation. Number 3, avoid emotional reactions. Don't react. Narcissists usually provoke emotional reactions. So stay calm, stay composed, because this can be disarming to them. Number 4, maintain your distance. So if possible, limit contact with the narcissist, with this person, recognizing that their behavior is a reflection of their issues, not of your worth. And number 5, seek support. So you can reach out to a therapist, a support group, a life coach like myself to help you cope with the challenges of setting boundaries with an individual who is a narcissist. Awesome. So I'd like to end this episode by saying setting boundaries is crucial to personal growth and healing. It helps create a space where you can focus on your well-being and happiness, or where I can focus on my well-being and my happiness. Whether with friends, family, or a narcissistic individual, boundaries are vital tools in nurturing healthy relationships and safeguarding your mental and emotional health. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode, and I hope that it resonated with somebody out there. Please like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who you think that it may resonate with. And for those of you who want to connect with me further, www.msmichellegreen.com. Thanks for listening. Ciao.